Jesus was speaking in John 4:24. From verse 23, he said there is a kind of people the Father is seeking. He said they are the ones that will worship him in spirit and in truth. So God also seeks for a particular kind of people. It's not only men that seek God. God also seeks men. And the kind of people God seeks are those who worship him in spirit and in truth. This is why the 24 elders were speaking in Revelation chapter 4 from verse 11. The Bible said, they said, all things were created for thy pleasure. That means if your life does not give pleasure to God, your existence was a waste. Regardless of who you are, your life must give pleasure to God. And the best way to give pleasure to God is to worship him. Now listen, worship, like I taught you, is not a song. We worship God through singing, but worship is deeper than singing. Worship is a life that is poured out for God's purpose. That is why obedience, sacrifice, submission are all part of worship. The first time the word worship was used in scripture is in Genesis 22 verse 5. Abraham was going to sacrifice Isaac. It was obedience to God. So any life that is not poured out to fulfilling God's purpose is not a life that knows worship. I told you many times, the best worship service that earth experienced was in the Garden of Gethsemane. When Jesus said, Father, if it were possible, let this cup pass me by. He said, yet not my will but thine. Anybody who is a worshiper will learn how to substitute his will for God's will. If you have not reached there, you can sing and cry, you are not a worshiper. You can have a golden voice, you are not a worshiper. God is not moved by our voice as much as he's moved by the disposition of our heart. So a life that is lived to worship God is a life that has eternal consequence. And